Barbara would be going nuts.
Hey Sharks, I'm Valentine, founder of Matador Meggins. I'm seeking $250K for 10% equity in my company. Mr. Wonderful, I know you've always been jealous of Lori and all women for enjoying their lives in leggings, but also been quite concerned about exposing too much of your goodies. So I invented a sports bra for your man parts.
Crazy.
Matador Meggins is an innovative activewear brand best known for its men's leggings, specifically designed for the male anatomy, featuring a modesty pad that conceals the groin department and gives you a perfectly rounded superhero crotch. Take it in. Studies show that compression pants help increase blood circulation and activate minor muscles. This leads to improved performance during workouts and faster recovery. Oops. No, I'll repeat. Studies show that compression pants help increase blood circulation and faster recovery. We offer leggings, compression shorts, and bike gear in over 50 unique prints and bold colors. So Sharks, show me a superhero who doesn't wear leggings. I'll wait.
We are back with another Shark Tank breakdown episode. I am your host, Dave, an almost 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from trademarks, copyrights to patents, trade secrets, you name it. I deal with it. So this one is going to be an interesting one. I can already tell, man. It seems like it's getting a little spicy, maybe getting a little uncomfortable. So we'll see where this one goes. Now, he said the word innovative, and typically when you say innovative or proprietary, that's are like buzzwords for me for a patent. We'll see if Lori acts on whether or not he has a patent for it. I know he is valuing the company at $2.5 million. We typically know that Mr. Wonderful acts about the sales. So I would imagine that he is going to ask about the sales. The three things that I look for when I am reviewing these videos, and if all three are met, it's probably going to be a winner, regardless of whether or not the Sharks think so or not. How simple is it? What's the effectiveness of it? And what's the market looking like? So I'll start with maybe 1 and 3. It seems like it's pretty simple. Just put on your I guess the apparel, and there you go. The market, it seems like it's a decent sized market. Obviously, people are working out, and it seems like, however, even though it is a nice market, it's a ton of stuff out there. Obviously, you know about the Nikes and Under Armours and other kind of big box brands such as those, but it's a lot of other smaller brands as well. So that kind of workout gear, that market, it kind of, I would probably say it's probably a saturated market. Let me know in the comments if you guys disagree with me. So just because it's a saturated market, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't break through it, but it's just going to be a lot tougher. Then the second one, or the third one, is I guess the second prong, if you will, is the effectiveness of it. And typically, again, when you look at these Shark Tank videos, they typically highlight or give the highlights of the actual product, but you can actually get maybe a better snapshot into the effectiveness of it by the sales as well as the reviews. Looking on a website or on Amazon and seeing if it has positive reviews, to the extent that it does have reviews. If you're selling a lot of these things, then that in and of itself is an indicator of it's a pretty effective product. So it'll be interesting, and I would maybe task you guys as the audience to kind of look for these three things as the gentleman is going through his pitch, but also as the Sharks are answering questions. Again, if all these three prongs are met, simpleness, the effectiveness of it in the market, if the market is a decent sized market, then it stands to make a ton of money. But even if 1 or 2 are missing, you can still make money. It probably just won't be millions upon millions of dollars. But heck, if you're making $100,000, $200,000 a year worth of these things, what they say the average consumer in the U.S. makes, or the average person in the U.S. makes 40 grand, 50 grand a year. So you can still make a good living. And that just goes to show you the power of starting your business, the power of protecting your brand, the intellectual property, whether it's a trademark, whether it's a patent, whether it's a copyright on your just kind of different features or different aspects of your business. So let's get back to it. Let's see what the Sharks say. And like I said, it's already getting spicy / uncomfortable. So this should be an interesting one.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Here's my contribution to humanity. An open pocket for your phone. a zipper pocket
a
for your
roll jack?
valuables,
Nice.
Dang.
a t-shirt towel loop at the back,
Oh,
Yeah, baby, that's cool.
Right.
and high performance sweat wicking silky smooth fabric that feels like a second skin. Ready to be eaten alive by your questions. Lay them on me.
Let's talk about the package zone here, okay?
So it's a soft molded crutch cup, also known as a modesty pad, that gives you at that round shape. It's not going to augment the growing department. So all the products in the market, we're the only product in the market that offers this crutch solution.
So Valentine, how did you get here? Tell us about you.
Right.
I was born and raised in Turkey, if you guys couldn't figure out by the accent or the charm. I'm an immigrant in the United States.
Shout out
I'm
to the
also
immigrants.
half Spanish, hence the
Wow.
name Matador and all the Spanish influence on the brand's aesthetic. I worked at Facebook for 8 years, building their global organization all around the world.
What got you to this?
Yeah.
8 years ago, I was training to become a yoga teacher, and I found myself.
And as he's getting off into it, this is one of the things that I love about starting your business. Again, I was interviewing someone earlier today, and she was a school teacher, and she ultimately got into baby products and is, has made up until this point in time, since 2019 to 2024, $12 million. So the great thing is you don't necessarily have to be an expert or experienced in the thing that you're trying to start a business in. A lot of times it starts with the problem that I have identified, and that leads into a product and into a business. He said that he was kind of building global brands for Facebook for the past 8 years. And next thing you know, he finds himself in a fitness department. Now it seems like, kind of based on where he was going with this story, that he kind of is a fit guy and stayed in shape and worked out and things like that. But who would have thought that all of a sudden maybe he would look up and he would have his own kind of fashion or apparel or kind of fitness workout apparel company. So that's the great thing I love about IP, about starting your business, because you don't have to be an expert in the field that you're looking to get into. Really, it almost benefits you not to be an expert, because you bring this freshness, this newness into the field, compared to someone who's been in the field for 10, 20 years and kind of looking at this thing out of their old lens, or out of the lens that other members, experts in the field have been looking at the same problem in for the last 10, 20, 30 years. So it almost kind of gives you an advantage or a leg up, at least in my perspective, to have this freshness, this newness, not deal within the field, because again, you can really bring a newness to that field as relates to your solution, your innovation, to your product. And then it's just a matter of, okay, kind of putting pen to paper and bringing that ideal or that product to life to actually solve for the problem. So shout out to this guy. Let's get back to it. But again, I'm loving it so far.
In a room full of women in leggings, and I was the only one who didn't wear them, or better said, couldn't. So that day I
I'm not wearing leggings,
looking
though.
for men's leggings that would conceal the groin department, and I couldn't find. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna make it. I stole my sister's old bras, cut the foam out, and sewed it to a pair of old leggings that I owned, and voila, that was my first prototype.
Are there really no leggings for men that you know of?
Every single activewear brand sells one form of this product, but they're designed as an undergarment to be worn shorts over them.
Yep.
Are you making any money?
I think you'll be happy to know that we've sold over $2 million worth of this clothing.
$2 million?
$2 million. I forget. I think he said he was valuing the company at $2.5 million, what, $250,000 for 10%, $2 million. Hey, you see, just look at the screen right here. Look at the screen. Look at Damon John. Look at Mark. Look at Mr. Wonderful. Everybody is they're paying attention now. So, hey, what I say earlier, I'm probably not wearing leggings, at least not under any shorts, but who cares what I think? What does the market think about this thing? And it seems like the market is eating it up so far. So kudos to this guy. Let's get back to it. That's amazing.
It's expanding right now.
And what time period?
Exactly, because
And what time period?
Since we launched a little bit less than 3 years ago.
Okay, so what about
last year?
Last 12 months.
Last year, we did 620 in revenue, and this year our projection is to hit $1 million in sales.
Oh.
We did 800 in sales, and our first year in the business, we did $365,000.
How
And are you running
selling
this
it?
alone?
Direct to consumers?
I am a one-man show. I do everything from design, development, manufacturing, sourcing to
Really?
marketing.
Look it, man. Who says you can't have $1 million business being a one-man show? This is the American dream, people. This is why everybody wants to come to America. This is why everybody wants to sell their product in America. This gentleman has sold $2 million worth of product in over a 3-year period. He doesn't have an advertising team. He doesn't have a team that's dealing with manufacturing. He doesn't have a team that's dealing with all these other facets of the business. Now, again, at some point, as he continues to grow, he'll want to kind of start to outsource that thing or bring in people to help him out. But as he said, he's a one-man band. Hey, what more proof do you need? What more proof do you need? Let's go. I'm liking this one.
Valentine, how many SKUs do you have?
Currently, we have 50.
50?
That's
50.
crazy.
Whoa.
Talk to us a
A
little
lot
bit
of SKUs.
about your costs and your profits.
Of course. It costs $18 to make them, and we currently retail them for $92.
Good
Nice.
margin.
Talk to us about why your sales went down in 2022.
The first 2 years in the business, my pure focus was customer acquisition. But this year, we shifted our entire focus to profitability because I have to start paying myself. So we dialed down on marketing
money, man. I'm trying to
dollars
work for free.
in order to increase profitability.
Valentine, you said you were going to do $1 million this year. We're 6 months into the year. How much have you sold so far?
So far we're
Close to
over
500.
200K, but keep in mind that we make our biggest sale in the second half of the year.
So you're going to make
As
up
gifts?
2/3 of it in the back end?
Exactly. For example,
All direct to consumer. You're not
all
using.
direct to consumer, 97% is direct to consumer.
There's nothing proprietary about taking a pad and sticking it in the package region. And the big brands that own this space that do billions of dollars in leggings, what stops them from doing it? I mean, if the
You know
market was
what?
big
I
enough.
want them to copy it. I want big brands.
Look it. And what Kevin is saying, he didn't say the word outright, but he's talking about is it something that's protectable? Is something that's patentable as an investor, and all the sharks are investors. You have the Nikes, you have the Under Armours, you have the Adidas, you have the other different brands out there that deals in leggings and just different athletic apparel. And once they get involved with it to help it grow, what's going to stop competitors from just knocking off the product? So this guy, he seemed like he started to go down a rabbit hole. And as you can see Damon John's face here, he's not feeling them. And I'm not feeling what he's saying either, as far as he wants the competitors to copy him. Again, the importance of patents. Again, something in this realm, I'm not sure. It seems like he hasn't said anything about patent protected or having a patent on a product, which is I don't want to say a red flag, but I mean, it can be an issue. And maybe that is the reason for a sales kind of dipping as kind of other companies start to kind of come out with the same type of men legging. Again, that's what Kevin is talking about. Hey, what's patentable about this? He danced around it. He didn't come out and say, hey, what's patentable about this? Is it patent protected? He talked about the proprietariness and what's keeping others from getting in the same space. And it seems like so far this guy doesn't have an answer. So let's kind of get back to it. Obviously, Damon, hey, he's not feeling it. I'm not feeling it either, Damon. So I'm not sure if I'm making that face, but I'm not feeling the answer if I want people to copy it, man. I don't want you to copy it. I want to continue my market dominance for as long as possible as I continue to build the brand up. So let's see what he says. Let's go.
To normalize this product so that they can grow the market size, which will only benefit from me.
Then how are you going to differentiate yourself?
Yeah, so our biggest differentiator is our colors and unique
Oh,
prints.
man.
Valentine, if I give you the 250 and you get run over by a truck, what do I got? A picture of you.
You got a broken truck because look how fit he is.
That's a problem.
Right,
We're not
right,
in business here.
right.
You've built a really interesting hobby, but I don't like my entrepreneurs getting run over by trucks and there's nobody backing them up. So I'm out.
He wants to have it
First of
patent
all,
protected.
all the guys with the Mavericks wear compression leggings, and almost all of them will just wear shorts over them.
Exactly. It's a hideous look.
Well,
And
that's
restricting as well.
it's not
You know,
I
restricting.
don't want to see
I'm
men
a yogi,
leggings. Man,
so
what's
I'm
wrong with this leggings on?
Look,
Yeah, get at it,
absolutely
baby,
no
get at it.
restriction.
But
And
it's just-
everything stays in place.
That's right.
right. So your competition isn't Nike or whatever coming in.
Man.
It's just guys putting on a pair of shorts.
Yeah.
You know, and then the question becomes functionality versus look. You're going to win the look side every time, and that's great. But for functionality, You're not talking about the quality of the compression. And for athletes, that's going to be most important. It's been a good business for you, but I don't think there's a large business there. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Okay, thank you.
For me, looking at this product, I'm just not sure guys will wear it a lot. I don't know. So I'm sorry, I'm out. There are other sharks here.
This is for a super active or good active person.
So that was my starting point, but I couldn't be more wrong. When I look at our customer base, I see huge diversity based on age, fitness level, body shape.
But to get that scale, that high scale, if you don't know exactly who your customer is, you're using our money for tuition.
Yeah.
We don't know who it is.
It's mostly 25 to 55.
Okay.
It's not 18 because the product is relatively higher in price.
You know, Valentine, I think your gift is the fact that you're agile.
Yeah.
You know, this is a great business for you, but just not an investable business.
I agree.
So I'm out.
The reason I'm struggling here is that I actually really do believe that the trend line is for comfortable wear. Where I think I lost my confidence is when you were answering to Damon saying that this was for everyone. Because to his point, if you try to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one. And I do think you need to spend a little bit more time figuring out who's your target consumer. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Good luck.
Matador Meggins will be.
Hey, so what do you think? For the men who are watching this, would you wear a pair of men leggings? Now, I'm not putting on any compression shorts if it doesn't come with regular shorts over it. But again, going to the gym, you see people with just compression shorts on working out. Again, that's maybe just not my cup of tea, but who cares? He's sold 2 million over the last 3 years. And I don't like the fact also that it's maybe not patentable. And I think a lot of the sharks picked up on it, starting with Kevin. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me know if you guys disagree with me, agree with me. Again, when people are investing, what do you want, $250,000 for 10%? When people are investing that type of money, they want to make sure that their investment is protected. And to the extent that the business is patentable or is it a product and it is patentable, then great. But otherwise, and again, I'm not saying that this guy can't be successful. I know I was, doing a trademark infringement video of Aviator Nation, which is out in California. This was a couple weeks ago. And I think Adidas was suing them because the owner was kind of kept breaching the confidentiality agreement and at least allegedly committed trademark infringement. But again, she built up a company that people are offering her billions or at least hundreds of millions of dollars for. And she doesn't have any, she has a trademark, but nothing patent protected on her clothing. And her clothing is $200. So again, I'm not saying that you can't have something there with the clothing, with the apparel, but it's going to take a lot of hard work, sweat, tears, blood, whatever you want to call it, to get that business going. And again, this is just me. If I'm doing something, I want to do something that I want to be involved in a business that's patent protected and that has some type of proprietariness that's protected on the product, as opposed to something that, okay, I'm starting and I can build it and I can build it to the uniqueness, as this gentleman talked about the uniqueness of the color wave and all those things. But I guess that's not something maybe I want to necessarily go with, unless it's a trademark and the pattern of, like, for example, the Adidas 3 stripes. That stands out in and of itself to the point where it's like, okay, we know when we see the 3 stripes, that's Adidas. So if it's something similar to that on a trademark side, maybe I can get involved. But I know the apparel business is a tough business. And we'll see what happens. Let's get to the website really quickly before we close out things. I'm surprised. I guess it is what it is. You would think that, he talked about the only one, and when you start talking about that, typically that means there's some type of protection on it from a patent perspective, but not so much now. So it seems like this guy doesn't have a patent. He didn't say it explicitly, but again, it didn't come up, and he didn't kind of answer the question when Mr. Wonderful said, hey, what's keeping others from knocking this off? He didn't say, well, I have a patent on it. So I'm going to go off on a limb and assume that it isn't patent protected. Now, the other thing that I guess is an issue with me, I know he said he had the Spanish background and hence the name Matador. However, the word Matador, and it's a ton of actually trademarks on the word Matador, but again, you have to kind of trademark decide what class you're going to be in, and it's a ton of classes that you can pick. So it can be a ton of Matadors up there. Just think of Delta with the Falters and Delta. And I think it's an insurance company called Delta Dental. And then you also have Delta with the airline. So that just gives you an example of you can have the same word, in that case, Delta, in a number of classes. It's a ton of classes for the word Matador. But it's interestingly enough, I know he talked about him being from Turkey and having a Spanish background, but it's a gentleman, I think his name was Martin. Has a German company, or he's from Germany, and he has an actual patent. I mean, not a patent, I'm sorry for that, a trademark for the term Matador in the clothing category. So in this case, this gentleman, if he was to have a trademark, it would be in the clothing category for the word Matador. It seems like a gentleman, Martin, who's out of Germany, go figure, he has a term Matador for the clothing category. So I'm not sure if they're linked at all. I know this gentleman didn't say his name was Martin. So to the extent that they're not linked, that's another red flag for me, is starting a business without knowing that you can actually protect your name from a trademark perspective. It's one thing to not have a patent on your name, but if you can't even protect the business name, the brand name from a trademark perspective, then that's man, I don't know. It seems like you're going against the current on this case. But again, Matador, you definitely see that it's not has the R in the circle, which let people know that it's a registered trademark. Even though this is not a registered trademark, I would still put TM on it. But again, it seems like the Matador company, or the guy Martin, who's out of Germany, who has a trademark on the term Matador for clothing, he will come after him at some point for trademark infringement. So that's something that I guess I'll definitely keep a lookout for, and see if a lawsuit gets filed at some point in time. Again, no patents. Typically, if you had a patent, it would be on the bottom, at the bottom of the screen or the website, the homepage. But again, he's been operating this thing from 2020, so he's definitely been around for a number of years, which is cool. And again, nothing on the trademark side of things. So yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. They talked about the modesty pad here, the phone pocket, that's not new. The t-shirt loop, that's just a belt buckle. The zipper pocket, that's not new. Inner drawstring, obviously that's not new. Again, he got a 4.9 stars based on 7,000 reviews, so that's telling me something. The modesty pad, it seems like, if anything, that would be something that's patentable, but seems like he doesn't have a patent on that. So again, you guys have to let me know what you think on a product. Like I said, I am not a legging person. I'll wear some compression shorts, but they have to be under some actual gym shorts or workout shorts. Let me know if you are the type that will buy, or if, to the extent that you have bought some of these Matador Meggins, let me know your I guess your experience with them, your review of them in the comment section. I'll be interested in knowing that. And again, to the extent that you are a person who would buy them, let me know that in the comments as well. Again, just because something is not patentable, just because, again, you don't have a trademark on it, that just kind of shows you the power of a business, and power of just kind of having an ideal and kind of bringing it pen to paper and kind of really being all in on it, that you can still make $2 million without a patent, without a trademark. I would imagine that if this guy had his stuff protected, or if he had something that was protectable, not only that the sharks would have been interested, but I think this guy would have been really, it would have been simple, it would have been effective. And I think the market, even though it's a kind of more or less saturated market, I think it would have made it a lot more interesting. Let's say that. So again, not saying that this guy can't be successful, because I've seen companies be successful although they don't have a patent, but typically they at least have some type of form of intellectual property, whether that be a patent or a trademark. At least in the case of clothing apparel, this gentleman, if I were him, I would actually, let me kind of put my screen back on it. If I were him, I would actually patent in or trademark. I'm sorry. I would trademark that pattern here, that particular pattern in which he said he wants to be identified by that. I definitely have and maybe he does have a trademark and I just didn't see it. But if I was him, I would trademark that pattern on clothing, on workout clothing, and then go from there. You have to find some type of intellectual property that sets you apart from the competitors, from everyone else. And to the extent that it's a patent, great. But at least it should be a trademark at the very least, especially as it relates to the clothing category here, the clothing apparel here. I talked about Aviator Nation. She has a number of trademarks on her product. So again, without trademarks, without patents, you typically don't build $1 million or $1 billion brand on happenstance. But again, it could happen, just very tough. So let me know what you guys think. I thought this was a very interesting. It started slow and then it ramped up with the 2 million, but then it seems like it kind of tapered off with kind of no protection. And it seems like the Sharks just kind of disagree his vision for the company. So again, that's cool. That's why it's your company and not the Sharks company, and you can still be successful. So put in that work. I'll catch you guys on the next Shark Tank breakdown. Till next time, take care.